So control is not a sign of strength, but a sign of fear. Okay, I think in my early 20s, there is a strong sense of control in my life, and yes, it's a sign of fear because only if you control everything, you can feel security. And one day, her young husband suddenly passed away. Just 3 hours before his death, they had spoken on the phone, the girl. So this is one of the harshest truths of life. You never know when something will be the last time. Many people think there is still time, so they keep waiting for a better moment, waiting for a better, more perfect condition. But life never gives you advance notice. And after going through this, she realized that the only thing she could truly control was her own mind. Everything external can be lost, but your inner world is the only place that truly belongs to you. And the girl said that she and her husband had planned to redo their honeymoon um, in the coming month, retake wedding photos, and have a child the month after, and move back to his hometown in 2 years. But all of it turned into a dream. And have you ever had this feeling? Life seems to be moving forward, but everything is uncertain. You think you are planning the future, but you are only imagining it. But everything is already like a dream. Her husband's existence was a dream, and one day her own existence will also become a dream. So, what is there to argue about? And what can truly be gained from cleaning? When you truly see this, you will naturally begin to let go of certain things, not because you become indifferent, but because you understand. So when you truly understand impermanence, you will understand this sentence. What change brings is not only pain and helplessness, it also means that all pain and helplessness will pass. Many people only see that change takes away happiness, but change also takes away suffering. If nothing ever changed, pain would never end. And this woman also said that during the first month after her husband's death, she felt like she was living in hell. Every day she was afraid to wake up, hoping to reunite with him in dreams. Her heart felt like it was burning in fire, while her body felt frozen like an ice. True suffering is not physical pain, but the tearing of the heart. That feeling of knowing it will never come back. She said she stayed in an empty house every day, seeing no friends, not eating, feeling completely drained. But even this kind of pain eventually disappears. This sentence is very important. No form of suffering is permanent. Even if right now you feel like you cannot survive it, time will carry you through it. She finally understood that everything in this world is like dew under sunlight, evaporating in an instant. Nothing lasts forever. What you cling to now will disappear. What you suffer from now will disappear. This is the two sides of the same truth. And those who have read Death Rise would know that Xuemo's Mr. Xuemo's younger brother passed away at the age of 27. And his death was undoubtedly a devastating blow to Mr. Xuemo at that time. But it also shattered my shattered Mr. Xuemo's illusions about life and broke many of his attachments. And some events are not here to destroy you, but to awaken you. But their way of awakening you is often painful. Not long after that, Mr. Xuemo totally understood the true nature of the world. So some truth you can hear 100 times and still not understand, but once you experience them, you will never forget. So whether you cling or not, the world is always changing. Many people believe that if they let go, they will not feel pain. But the truth is, change does not stop because of your attitude. What you can change is not the world, but how you face it. Day will always turn into night, and night will always give away to dawn. Children will grow up, and parents will grow old. You don't need to do anything. Time will move everything forward. Life itself is a one-way river. No one can flow backward. All the stories in life, whether experience or hurt, are like splashes in memory, like lightning in the night sky. They disappear in an instant. So what feels extremely important now may fade in just a few years. Even the people you cannot let go of, time will gradually release for you. So every experience, everything, every person is a kind of phenomenon. None of them are permanent, and none have a fixed nature. What you dislike today, you may understand tomorrow. What you cling to today may one day feel insignificant. Whether good or bad, it only exists in your present interpretation. Events themselves do not carry that much meaning. It is you who gives them meaning. The same event can be suffering or it can be growth. So, why take every experience so seriously? And why be so attached to things that are constantly changing? When you become less attached, you become more free. And when you stop grasping, you can truly experience and hold the present, taste the present, enjoy the present, absorb the nourishment of the present. Many people live in the past and the future, but very few truly live in the present moment. And real life only happens in this moment. Let past return to the past and leave the future to the future. You do not need to carry the anxiety of the future in advance, and you don't need to repeatedly relieve the regrets of the past. So in fact, when you begin to truly understand impermanence, your life will quietly start to change. You are no longer easily pulled around by external circumstances. And a single sentence from someone will no longer control your entire day. A gain or loss will no longer define your whole life. You will gradually begin to understand what truly matters in life is not what you possess, but how you respond to change. Hi to the new friends here. Thank you for your time. Thank you, and please subscribe to our channel. So what truly matters in life is not what you possess, but how you respond to change. How you respond to change the is what truly matters. And this is why some people have everything but still feel anxious, while others have very little but remain peaceful. So these ideas are not just theories, and when you change how you see things, the world changes within you. It is not the outside that changes, but your perception. And because of this, many people, when they first encounter these ideas, feel that they are difficult or abstract. But you will find that as you slowly read, listen, and reflect, these ideas begin to settle into your real life. For example, everything we just talked about, impermanence, change, attachment, are explored in a much deeper and more structured way in, this in certain books like The World is a Reflection of the Mind or Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. These are the spiritual yoga series. Yeah, The World is a Reflection of the Mind by Xuemo, and the Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart, also by Xuemo. So if you don't just want to casually listen and want to truly make these things and these ideas part of you and part of your life, then you need a more constant source of input. Because real transformation never comes from understanding something once, but from repeated exposure and reflection. Just like today you may understand a little, tomorrow you will see something new, and after some time it will feel completely different again. That is why many readers discover when they begin to truly read these books, they are not just gaining information, they are discovering themselves. Okay, so the same phenomenon, same situation, and the same live stream. Two different people feel the two different things. So you can see that one feels very interesting what I am talking about, and one said, I look bored. Not really. So what is the reality? So same phenomenon to experience, personal experience, right? So you will begin to see your past attachments, see where your emotions come from, and even understand why you suffer. And when you begin to see these things, many things start to loosen naturally. It's not you that you understand and then you let go naturally. So if something we talked about today resonates with you, even a little bit, you can slowly start exploring these books. And like The World is a Reflection of the Mind by Xuemo. You can search for Xuemo on Amazon. And you don't need to read a lot at once, and you don't need to understand everything immediately. You can start with just one book. Maybe The World is a Reflection of the Mind, or you can also start with this book, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo, the little yellow book on Amazon. And also, if you're not sure where to begin, you can take a look at our global official bookstore, shop.xuemo.com. On shop.xuemo.com, you'll find a more complete collection of English titles. Some books are suitable for beginners, while others go much deeper. You can choose based on where you are right now. So instead of forcing yourself into something too advanced, sometimes one sentence is enough. One sentence, if truly understand, can change how you see the world. So again, the world is a reflection of the mind by Xuemo, and it is available on Amazon. I know I'm not considering writing a book. I'm introducing Xuemo's works. That's enough. And impermanence cannot be resisted, but it is not something to fear. When people hear impermanence, their first reaction is often fear. But what truly causes suffering is not impermanence itself. But your desire to make it stop. So, what truly causes suffering is not impermanence itself, but your desire to make it stop. Everything in the world at its core will become memory, and memory is no different from illusion. So life itself is a vast illusion. What feels most real to you right now, in a few years, will become a vague memory. You may not even remember how you felt. When you are happy, the world is changing, and you are also changing. When you are in pain, change does not pose even for a moment because of your suffering. And the world does not stop because you're happy, nor does it slow down because you're suffering. It keeps moving. Impermanence is the condition that allows life to continue, and it is a law we are always following. It's not frightening in itself. Without change, there is no growth. If everything were fixed, you would never become who you are today. So human beings are very interesting because most people only want to accept the pleasant side of things and subconsciously avoid the unpleasant side. You want happiness, but not loss. Of course, everyone you want to possess, but not accept change. So when it comes to the consequences of their own choices, they are often unwilling to accept them calmly. You want the result, but not the process. This is where most inner conflicts come from. And here are some very simple examples. Many people enjoy going out with their families, but complain when facing traffic or long lines. Many girls enjoy eating sweets, but regret it when they gain weight. And many boys like beautiful girls, but once she becomes their girlfriend, they fear others' attention towards her. So you want the sweetness, but not the cost, but they always come together. If you agree with me, you can drop your message. And almost every anxiety comes from not accepting reality as a whole. And what does this mean? It means we cannot see reality clearly because our biases block our vision. What you see is not for yourself, but a filtered version of it. And that is why we resist impermanence so strongly. You are not resisting change, you are resisting the loss of control. Hi, thanks for your time. You are resisting the loss of control. And this is also one of my life challenge. Actually, I am afraid of the loss of control. And, and just as too much sugar leads to weight gain, impermanence is also a natural law. And the only difference is that you can choose not to eat sweets, but you cannot avoid change. The sentence is actually very important. Some things are choices, but some things are unavoidable. You will also realize that your fear of the unknown comes from your resistance to change. What you fear is not the unknown itself, it is that the unknown means you cannot control it. And most people prefer stability and want to everything to remain the same. Let me, if Xuemo, but stability is only a temporary condition. It is never the default state. Any possible loss makes us tremble. That is why you hold on tightly. But the tighter you hold, the more it hurts. So we are talking we are talking about the book. Um, the world is a reflection of the mind by Xuemo, and this book is available on Amazon. So we are so afraid of unknown. We are talking about the unknown and changing, the ever-changing life. So because we mistake illusion for reality and we fear the pain of loss, so we are unwilling to let go of anything. Hi, wow, some new friends here, and thank you for your time, our old friends here. Thank you. So why are we still so afraid of the unknown? Because we mistake illusion for reality and we fear the pain of loss. So we are unwilling to let go of anything. It is not that you cannot let go of the thing itself. You cannot let go of your idea of it. What you hold on to is never reality, but the version in your mind. And many times, even if you don't want to let go, you still have to. This sentence is cold, but very, very real. You can choose not to accept it, but you cannot stop it from happening. And once you truly accept this loss, you will realize it is not as terrifying as you imagine. Much of your suffering is something you rehearse in your mind. When it actually happens, it is often less intense. Why? Because everything in this world ultimately becomes memory, and memory is no different from illusion. So life is a vast illusion. So life is a vast illusion. What you are clinging to right now will eventually become just a sentence that starts with back then. Back then, I was. So what you are clinging to right now will eventually become just a sentence that starts with back then. So for example, the building I live in, does it exist? Of course it does. It shelters me and my family, and the house shelters me and my family and holds everything I cherish. My books, my stones, my paintings. It sounds very real, right? Doesn't it? It even feels like a sense of belonging, but it is not inherently existing. It is only a phenomenon without any permanent essence. You think this is your home, but it is just a space you temporarily occupy. Years ago, this place was empty land, just a piece of filled ground. Before you came, it did not belong to you. After you leave, it will not belong to you either. My grandfather once built a small house nearby to collect manure, and he stored the manure inside, lived and slept there, afraid others would steal it. In his eyes, that manure is more important than anything. And what you are attached to right now may look like another kind of manure to someone else. In his eyes, the manure was everything and could not be lost. But he did not understand that the manure and the house were both products of conditions coming together. You think you are protecting something valuable, but often you are just bound by your own concepts. A few years later, the house was demolished and the land was leveled and turned into farmland. You see, this is change. Nothing waits for you. After more than 10 years, the farmland became a village and people fought over land for building houses. The same piece of land has completely different meanings at different times. They did not realize that this village is also a product of conditions. People always think the current state is the final form, but in reality, it is only a phase. Years later, the land was bought by a developer, the village demolished and turned into a modern residential area. What you think is an ending is just the beginning of another change. Later, I bought an apartment there and moved in. So the empty apartment became filled with my belongings. You see, the story returns to beginning again. Only the people have changed and different attachment. But this is not the end. It will continue to change endlessly. There is no final state. There is only continuous change. Because whether it is the village, the building, or the land, none have a permanent essence. If you truly understand this, you'll begin to loosen your grip on many things. Because of conditions, they appear in many forms. We call this dependent origination, but their essence has no fixed self. They are constantly changing, so we also call this emptiness of nature. You think you own things, but you are only temporarily participating. So everything in this world, after being born and growing, will remain in a certain state for a while, then decay, transform, and eventually disappear. Relationships are no difference. Emotions are no exception. Dependent origination and emptiness are the laws of how the world operates. We are talking uh, we are talking about the book. The world is a reflection of the mind, and it is one of the spiritual yoga series. It's about master your mind and then master your destiny. And actually, what we are talking about is the traditional wisdom, which can be practiced in everyday life. Yes. So, have you ever heard about this concept of dependent origination and emptiness? 原始性空. It is the law and dependent origination and emptiness are the laws of how the world operates. Everything follows this pattern. You may think love is special, but it still follows the same law. When you understand this and then reflect on everything in your life, you will naturally have less confusion and emotional turmoil and more clarity and calmness. It is not when you understand this and reflect on everything in your life, you will naturally have less confusion and emotional turmoil and more clarity and calmness. It's not that you stop loving, but you are no longer controlled by love. A friend once told me that during her university years, she liked a boy. She treated him very well and they grew closer. And the boy also developed a sense of attachment to her. This sounds like a very normal beginning, even beautiful. But one day she suddenly lost all her feelings. And without hesitation, she left the boy's world. No argument, no betrayal, just that the feeling disappeared. And this kind of situation happened many times. And she asked me, if she was a strange person. I told her it is not like that. Many people experience this. They just do not dare to admit it. In fact, the love between men and women is a kind of small love. It is a feeling and an emotion, and feelings themselves are meant to change. Its emergence and its continuation both require certain conditions. When the conditions are present, it exists. When the conditions change, it changes. When these conditions keep changing, love goes through birth, passion, calmness, and decline. You think something is wrong when it changes, but in reality, it is just following its natural process. For example, if you love a woman because of her beauty, will you still love her when she is no longer beautiful? You can ask yourself this question. You don't need to answer others, just know your own answer. And if you love someone because you share the same goals, will you still love them when your path diverge? When both of you change, can that connection still remain? If you love a woman because she treats you well, will your love remain the same when she no longer does? Many people say I love you but what they really mean is as long as the conditions are met. If you love someone because they understand you, will you still love them if they stop understanding? Love does not always disappear. The conditions that supported it no longer exist. The conditions that make people fall in love are constantly changing. So love that remains unchanged for a lifetime is very rare. Many couples, after living together for a long time, see their love turning into affection or habit. You think it has faded, but it has simply changed form. Those who stay together for life do not rely on fleeting romantic feelings, but something much more stable. And even if people love each other for a lifetime, they will eventually be separated by death. No one can escape this. So love can not be eternal. It is not that love is not beautiful, but it does not belong to eternity. So what is truly eternal? The impermanence. Impermanence is eternal. Only impermanence is the eternal truth in this world. And at first, this sentence sounds contradictory, but if you truly reflect on it, you will find it very straightforward. Everything changes, so the only thing that does not change is change itself. So the only thing that does not change is the change itself. You keep searching for something that will never be lost, but that thing never existed in the first place. However, this does not mean you should treat love and life carelessly. Understanding impermanence is not about becoming indifferent. It is not about not loving nor or not engaging. On the contrary, after understanding this, you should step out from all past wounds and free yourself from all anxieties about the future. You will realize much of your suffering is something you experience in advance. Many regrets are something you replay again and again, fully enjoy and cherish every moment of your life, not because it will last forever, but precisely because it will not. Do not exhaust yourself trying to force something eternal that does not exist. The more you try to hold on, the faster it slips away. When you no longer cling to forever, you will start to take the present more seriously. You will cherish the time someone is in your life instead of worrying whether they will stay forever. You will focus more on the experience of the present instead of constantly calculating outcomes. Ah, tomorrow will never arrive. It's only a word. Sometimes I feel time time is a concept, really. There is only present. Whatever is past or the future, actually they only exist in your mind. You are thinking, yeah, tomorrow never arrive. It's only a word. So focus more on the experience of the present instead of constantly calculating outcomes. And today's topic is actually based on the book The World is a Reflection of the Mind by Xuemo. Many people feel exhausted in life, not because there is too much happening, but because they're constantly resisting change. But change is never your enemy. Uh-huh. Change is not, it is simply how the world works. And when you begin to move with it, you will discover a lighter way of being. It's not that you have no emotions, but emotions come and go. It is not that there is no love, but when love is there, you fully experience it. So perhaps the question is not why the world is always changing, but rather, are you willing to allow it to change? So there is a saying that accept all or to live at the present. So there's no standard answer, but is there an idea of what if, and have this what if deep down. Many people know these things are already gone, but they still keep thinking about them again and again. When we repeat thinking about something, thinking about something, actually, not because those things are so important, but because the feeling of not being able to let go is very strong. So many people think solving problems is about finding solutions, but some problems are resolved simply by seeing clearly. So when you truly see impermanence, you will gradually start changing your choices. You will not place all your expectations on one person. You will not use the future to hold the present hostage. And you will become clear about what you truly want. And what you are just chasing out of habit. So in many cases, you will realize you are not lacking answers. You are lacking a new way of seeing the world. And this kind of perspective is not something built from just one live stream. It requires repeated exposure to these ideas and time to reflect. So if today's content resonates with you, you can get the copy. The world is a reflection of the mind, and not learning something, but to see something you did not notice before. And like what we talked about today are explored much more fully in this book. The world is a reflection of the mind. The world is a reflection of the mind. So if you're interested, you can take a look. No rush, no need to understand everything at once. And sometimes one sentence stays with you for a long time. Just like the in the past 2 days, I was reading a book that has been published but not on sale yet, and I have read half of it, and I feel that one paragraph has the strong power to light me up. So sometimes one sentence stays with you for a long time, and that is enough. That is enough. And just like the sentence we talked about, all conditional phenomena are like dreams and illusions. And maybe right now you've only heard it, but true understanding may arise suddenly at a certain moment in your life. So the world is a reflection of the mind by Xuemo, and this book is available on Amazon. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you. Yeah, agree. Thank you. Thank you for your companion. All conditioned phenomena are like illusions, like bubbles, like dreams. Okay, so do not attach to the phenomena too much and let go of attachment. Do not try to hold on to anything. And that's the true freedom. Thank you. Thank you.